Good morning, good morning. Coming to you live on a Monday morning. Reading the articles. It is 1200 hours, 17 minutes, February 18, 2019. And I'm cooking right now, but I have to get this. The elitist one, that's the hard who they are. Because only thing I keep saying on the internet is we just gonna blame our own destruction. And that's not all the way true. We gotta understand that destruction started back when we welcomed them in. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Of why no martyr is a person that's willing to lay down their life for a cause. Like that. If you don't stand for something, fall for anything. I always said if you gotta know what you're standing for, because you can stand for religion, and within religion you can fall for anything, because it's part of that religion structure construct. You're gonna follow it, don't matter if it's wrong or not. You're gonna keep trusting into it, and don't matter, and that's how people live their lives. And I don't blame no African descendant man out here for our women to think it's easy to be a martyr. And of course, I understand when our women give people an upstanding round of applause. But in the long run, if we really want to, that's symbolic. I call this a symbolic victory. I know many of you heard of that before. You heard of a symbolic victories. Symbolic victories are when we have a chance to create a new outcome on society for the African diaspora. So, because I won't call us a community yet, because we're still not together. That's why no man right now is willing to be a martyr. And as you're gonna see going forward in the times we are in, it's not going to be nobody. Nobody's going to be willing to do that. And all of the guys that are willing to do it, this is the crazy part. The people that are being the martyrs or being the closest to a martyr is men without children. The men that's actually being good men. So I don't down the man. So instance, if we talk about Tupac and the noun we are in is the Kaepernick era. We're going to talk about the Kaepernick era. And the outcome of that was a settlement. It went from the need to the settlement. And see, and every time I say something, everybody keeps saying I'm the type of person that's the reason of everything. I'm coming against the black man. And I'm not following code. We had a problem even with, I don't talk about celebrities, but I want to talk about this because this is getting very corny to me. And with Floyd Mayweather and Kaepernick and the settlement and how we view each other. So first, I'm starting off with Colin Kaepernick. He took a kneel, and it was in August. And according to the collective bargain agreement for the NFL, any person that disrupts the game is liable. So you're breaking the code, the rules of the NFL. Okay, he didn't do that. He did a kneel before the game. And then it became an outburst of people saying he was disrespecting patriotism. Because at that time, the most racist time on Sunday is when we go to church and then when we watch the NFL. See, nobody look at it that way. Because they sing the National Anthem, and then we go pray to God, to the God that's not our true God. And I'm going to say it like this. I'm going to no more. I have to speak what I speak. Because people out there are losing their kids to the street while they're praying. And I think everything we're doing is counterproductive than the salvation of the African American diaspora. And until we understand, we're not going to be here. We don't have much time. The age of Babylon is with us. Don't forget about that. See, and that's why I don't do the woke stuff. These people that talk about they conscious and woke, I have a great guy I talk to, but I put him on to that. And when I talk to him, I don't diss when he say I'm woke or the red, blue pill and all these other things. I don't diss them. I let them speak because I know that's what he want to call it. So that's what he gonna call it. I'm not gonna bash him or beat him over the head for wanting to call what he trusts in being woke. He's no longer a part of the matrix. So the trans, which I already chalked it up as, it's a trans. They're telling you what you are and what you're not, what you really are. The only two things on this earth that is insistent is man and woman. If man and woman, the matriarch and patriarch, got back together, we start changing things. And that's another thing about our diaspora of the African Americans. If we can change our diaspora of information, so the knowledge that we seek and the knowledge that we have is no longer knowledgeable. Why I say that? Now, listen up to this. You know why it's not knowledgeable? Because we have yet to build around all the information that we have received. Let me say it again. We have yet to build around and build within all the information we know. So let's start with we knowing that we have no hard resources. We have no assets. We have yet, as a conglomerate, I don't mean with an individual families, because I'm no longer worried about individual families anymore. Because individual families don't do nothing. That's just small time. And it's good because then if we can understand, we got to have our own company. Don't worry about branding with other people. Don't worry about signing your company. Keep your company independent. If we start giving that education to our young men and women, we don't have that. So he took the knee, and when he took the knee, that was to stand up against the rights of African Americans. The unarmed black men and women are being murdered against the police and the law enforcement. They're supposed to protect and serve, but if you understand the history of law enforcement, it's to protect the law, but that don't mean they have to know the law. But it was for justice. Who was the justice? We got to think the original. If you know anything about law, not some fabricated saying that you got to talk to the source. Nobody's alive because it started in the 1900s, the police force, that it was for rich people to protect their assets. That's why we put taxes to it. That's why it was easy to govern. That's why it's still easy to govern now, because we're protecting their assets. We don't have assets. So why do we need the police? The African American diaspora in America, please answer that question. What do we need police for? Please answer that. We don't, answer. What is our purpose of a police officer in America? I want to know. Put that in the comments. Discuss this. Let's discuss this. And I have yet discussed this. Share this with your friends. I want to hear, I don't argue. If you ever go to my other channels I send you to, and I put in discussion, I don't argue with people. I ask a whole bunch of questions because I want to know where you at. And it's not, I don't give up. I don't use that saying my level of understanding is so different from yours. That means that's a relationship. And then you wonder why in our diaspora of relationships and communication, we don't have it. Because all we do is chalk it up and say, well, they don't have the same understanding as me. Cool. They don't have the understanding of you. You got to find a way to learn how to talk to them. So just like as you talking to a child. So as a child learns, you have to find a way to guide this child. You don't just give up. It might be some times before you say something like, all right, today we're going to be done. So until we do that with one another, we're going to be at a standstill again. So with that, we took the stand. He took it to court. And after Colin Kaepernick took everything to court, he settled. And now, to me, I call it the settlement. What was supposed to happen, and it's going to sound very funny to a lot of people, what he was supposed to do, and this is what didn't help us. He went in, he talked to certain people, but he had no plan. He didn't get. We were supposed to round up all the people that knew about. That's why I say we got to be in position. See, we still doing things like ass backwards. We're not in position to defend that nil. So he went to court, but before that, he could have rounded everybody up. I kept saying this. Why won't he round? That's why I'm sorry to say, if I don't do anything expedient, if this at this mass, what we're in, if we really trying to develop a open relationship, so when you go out and you meet a lady, or you a woman, you meet a man, you're trying to develop an open relationship. There's things you don't and you shouldn't do. So if you really want to be with me, you shouldn't be talking to your ex, even on the first date. Now, if your ex is your baby father or your baby mother, it's kind of different. But we don't have that no more. Because I'm even starting to see that was weird to say, just because you take me out on a date, I'm not obligated. No, you're not obligated to do nothing. But for me showing you respect, I'm not obligating you to show me respect. But can we have respect for one another when I'm on a date with you? Or if I'm getting to know you and you really seeing my interest? Are you going to keep having sex with people that does you no good to your life? That is no help to you? That right there bothers me. And I see a lot of women say wonder why they're single. And what I understand, it's a lot of men. We're single too. Because y'all wonder why y'all single. Well, you can still mess with your baby father and the ex because you want some sex. Then that shows me you ain't ready for no. You're not really. So that's why I was like saying you're single and available. But that's another topic. So with that being said, as we go through doing that, well, we was trying to figure out what is so great about this Neil. He didn't come up with a plan. He was quiet the whole time. That's my beef. I don't care that you did that. It's why are you quiet? What's the quiet for? It's like it's not the quiet because you had to be quiet. It's not quiet because it was you was doing so greatly that you had it's never no time they say, well, you had to be quiet. No, never that was said. We needed the plan so we can all get on board. Wasn't that just if my cousin and uncles and people in the family and the neighbor the neighbors surrounded getting shot and killed and murdered, shouldn't we all have been together so we can go ahead? So you don't have to be a martyr. Somebody will have your back. So Master P and his security system, LeBron James, we could have actually finally got away from being under controlled, stop being dominated. You think that would have happened? That would have served us a real purpose if we came together first. Even after you said that, you could have rounded all the men up and say, yo, who's down? What athletes are you down? And out of respect to the ones that was wouldn't, because they were still under the contract. Kaepernick probably got off the contract, but he still made his money through them. But he's only can do but so much. That's when now Kaepernick should have came into, and these are resolution and resolve. And as we say, nobody's going to hear what I'm saying. So he could have rounded up some more athletes. And then the athletes, they come from what's the place they represent in the Bronx, the 5 boroughs. They represent in Chicago. They represent Compton. Who else we represent? The Detroits, the bad cities of the United States of America. We could have got men in those areas that, as me, would have been down for the togetherness to bring us together. But no, he did it almost under a code of not knowing. So within that, now going to the next part, we didn't establish anything. So he filed a lawsuit. So he filing a lawsuit didn't help because, again, there's nobody with him. He talked to the Michael Eric Dysons of the world, the Roland. I don't know if he even talked to Umar. The brother, all these brothers, these so-called woke brothers, why was nobody put together to come together? And This is what we kept saying from day one. So now we're gonna leave that for a second. Now we're gonna go to this black code. I have no idea what is black code in America. Because one minute we advocate Meghan Markle, so the women is strong too, because the women have power. So we cannot forget the women. So do we advocate Serena Williams and Meghan Markle marriage? But do we advocate all the brothers that's with the Terrence Howards, the Michael Ealy's, the Columbus Short? Do we advocate for them too? Because according to you, if you black power, you cannot talk and walk pro-black, and you're with the other race. You're not really. We not 40 in, 40 deep. All saved. I'm gonna put that song on my thing. I want you to listen to it. Just listen to the words. Are we all prepared to fight? We're not all prepared to fight, but there's a lot of us I'm prepared. If he called Kaepernick, that called me. Come on, let's go, brother. I don't worry about my coming of my, because I know what I have is secure. I'm not worried about that. And these brothers got millions of dollars. I do my part, they do their part. That's what we supposed to be standing there for. We supposed to be, if we gonna have how we use this pro-black, black-owned business, we only support that. We do that, but we scared, and I respect that, because at the end of the day, these brothers got to go home. They got to feed their families. So I'm not dissing these brothers. I'm asking the brothers, let's come together first. If we gonna ever do another stand, let's make sure we got brothers in line so we can all stand together. Because we came into this all segregated again. We wanted to be all together, but we on code with the white people, but we ain't on code with each other. I'm using code because it's encrypted. Now, because I'm gonna say it's gonna be encrypted because I want to talk about things back so badly, but the spirit say no. He say, wait till you get enough of brothers together, and that strong, we all strong enough. And when I talk, they religion's not getting on their way. And they new call whatever they got, and our spiritualities is all touching and agreeing. Not for the sake of, okay, my religion is only one God or this and that. No, we need to come together because that's the only way we're going to make a mark and a change for the next generation. So with Mayweather doing his thing, the interracial, that's not helping. By saying Mayweather, he can't read, Donald Trump can't read. So I understand I'm an African descendant young man, middle man. So if I'm a middle era man, I can't be fully mad at a man that I don't pay for him. I didn't train with him to go box. I didn't help him. So how many people, since we got a problem with him, all those people, how many of y'all ever advocated to say, Floyd Mayweather, I want to show you how to teach you how to read? See, why is this not? This is what bothers me the most. This is what wholeheartedly bothers me the most. We say a lot, but we do a lot of nothing. Like a guy got mad. He said, "With me, what I'm doing in my neighbor and surrounding is I'm giving myself a pat on the back." No, because I had to explain to him. Because soon as I say Kaepernick was a pawn in the decoy, he's still under contract, or he didn't fully do the. It's not a right and a wrong, but it's a togetherness. He could have. We don't really. Oh man, I hope one day y'all can get this in the spirit soon. We really don't know the true damage we could have done. We were supposed to. Now it's gonna sound bad because this is what I never get about good people. We get destroyed while our enemies still can. We want to show them so much love, but they're killing our brothers. They're killing our mothers. They're killing our sisters. They're raping us. We're fostering, nurturing, breeding hatred into our children. So we got adult men enticed by young girls, and they are raping their daughters. They're raping their nieces. They're raping their mothers. And we're going to call them demonic, but they was tormented as well. And this is what I don't get. We don't never come to a realization and say, damn, We part of this as well. We have to stop this. When are we going to come together and say this needs to be stopped? But we can't come at it with I'm going to be on code because there's what code I'm following. You don't even respect the man for making his own profit on his own cause. But see, he's not doing it a certain way. He's not on code. No, I can't tell that. I can't tell Floyd Mayweather to stop buying Gucci. Nobody can tell that man what to do. Nobody. Not one person. Just like as you a word, no, you can't tell me what to do. Right. See how I can't tell you what to do? But somehow, Floyd Mayweather, because if we on code, should we not be tell each other what to do? And should we not check each other? So if we truly on code, am I not helping checking you? When I see, now this is the other part. Am I able to help the young man on the street when he's out in the corner? But this is the thing that we don't talk about either. This is going to be underlining of everything we do, according to this Kaepernick thing. We see our young brothers in the street, but we know nobody will help them. And we wonder why these young girls say, I keep saying this, I love hood dudes, young girls. Or I love white dudes, girls in the hood. I was so fond of this lady on social media. And all of these, they all chocolate, dark-skinned women. I'm like, they are so beautiful. I'm lusting, I'm fetishing. They my own race, so I see no problem. I'm loving them. I'm showing them that they're empresses. I'm applauding them. I know they getting naked. I'm trying to support a lot of them. I'm trying to help them. Even with my little bit I have, my little bit. I'm trying to educate. I'm doing my, because when they come at me, it's not as, oh, shut up. It's, oh, I want to know. Okay, then I let them know. And I leave it at that. Then I let their questions line up. And then when I see, okay, I see we came to a standstill. I appreciate your discussion with me. You was subjective. I appreciate it. I hope I took a lot out of it. I took a lot in. And hopefully I did something that jotted your memory, that ignited you. And that's how I leave it. I leave it just as that with that woman, or those women, or those young men, asking them about things they want to do. So with that, we got to understand we still working under. Now we are making more money. We're able to make more money, so we're comfortable. You can't ask no man that's comfortable to say, well, I'm going to give up doing that. No, you wasn't there for his fight. You wasn't there for his support. You kind of semi was there. I understand, because if you have your own family, you can do but so much. So with you doing so much, think about how this person feel. We don't do that part. We don't even really think about our feelings. We all think about our feelings, but we don't think about how another person feels. We're almost so super selfish towards one another, which we are. We're selfish. I don't need no one. I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody. But then when it comes to certain things, we all say, well, you're not on code. And then you try to call him parental advisory. I'm going to use the word a fuck nigga. A one that don't follow code that you know when there's going wrong. So am I a fuck nigga for not saying Kaepernick is a hero and not understanding the true reasoning behind what he's doing? I give him props. But that didn't help us. The thing that came out of it was a step one act. And this is how I put it. The step one act was to educate, no, it's to train, not even educate, young children about the law. As I said before on one of my lives, the one before this one, is that they train zebras to be docile, to animals. So when the tigers came around, the zebras didn't even know they was in danger. They were so docile. Is that not what we're doing to our children? Should we not be educating them? And if these guys really, if Kaepernick really want to help, go into these neighborhoods. Let's try to bring out the best in all these young men and women so they can have a better life. See what I'm saying? They need a better life. Without that better life, pretty good. I don't care what you say and do without education. Y'all been on social media lately? I have. I've seen a 14-year-old girl shaking her butt. And I don't mean, and of course, Instagram only advocate so much support of sexuality that they are willing to show. But they advocate for so much. They're not gonna stop your daughter from getting naked, half naked, a 14-year-old shaking her booty with her print popping out of her stuff. And now, if you don't look at the profile, or if you don't put that in her profile that she's 14, you don't know this young lady 14. And you're going to keep blaming the men for looking at these. That's that other part, that we're being enticed and seduced by little girls. And but the only fault to blame is the men. So basically what the men we're going to have to do is, and another thing that's killing us, all the stuff we protesting, we standing them. My man Malcolm and them. If I can take it clear, if I can take his last words, Malcolm and Martin and them don't want us protesting no more. They gave us we got everything we need. We supposed to be out there in the streets. When I see a young man in the streets, I will say, "Hey, come here, young man." I see a young woman in the street. Come here. What you need help with? This is. Your life is that bad. You got to be out here. You got to sell your ass. You got to sell drugs to the same people that eventually that you're going to raise with your son and daughters. Eventually, these people are going to be raised with your son and daughter. You're going to need to sell drugs to them. Do you not understand what you're doing? And these are the young men. We gotta tell them that. Nobody's doing that, but we want to make a protest in the NFL. We know that they're racist. That's the other part now. To the other part, these white men are racist. Their fathers. They'll hire all these black men to play in the league and make them money, but they won't go on TV. They won't work together since they all out of 3 sports. There are 90 owners. Can y'all tell me how many black owners there are? 1. Magic Johnson is the only principal owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, of the club. It's a club. It's called the National Basketball Association, the National Football League, and baseball. Major League Professional Athletics. So the leagues and the clubs and association all work together, and there's 1 black owner. 1. That's just a principal. That's not even a overall team owner. And LeBron talked about he want to own the team one day. Cool. But in the meantime, how are we educating children? Because he's going to need a general manager. So somebody got to go there. He got to pump money into the neighborhoods, the neighboring surroundings. I hate saying neighborhoods. Who created the hood? Who created that? We got to be, and if you're going to fight a battle, and people say, people say you don't know it, or people would say, the person that knows everything knows nothing. You know the funny part with that? And I'm not a bragger. I can tell you a little bit about everything. And if not, you speak the truth, and I guarantee you I can have an understanding. If I don't know, give me the truth first. Don't give me a lie. Because soon somebody start telling me a lie, or I see you playing games, like an instance when you're in a relationship, you know when somebody playing games with you. You know when somebody lying to you. So we need those people to stop playing games. If you're going to go in, go in. If not, we need you to step back. For the people that need it can do it. It's not that we can't do it. The Black Panther is still the #1 selling movie of all time. We got a group of us to go to a movie. We even dressed up. We came in our costumes. We showed up. How they say we show up and showed out. But we can't show up and show out when our brothers in the street getting killed. They martyrs. They the real martyrs. If anything, we should have been advocating to stop making our brothers martyrs. They martyrs. They the real martyrs. They getting murdered in the street for nothing. Because everything we doing is doing nothing. And everything we doing in the street is doing nothing. And if we don't understand that. So now for that part. So now we got the settlement. He got the settlement for 200 million or something. Okay, cool. Now what is this money going to go to? Now this is about to be and now if you want to be on someone's side and you want to say he's speaking up, he's a biracial man, he's not black. And this is what I want to talk about too. They did a study and they found out that's a lie. There is no such thing as a one drop rule. I'm gonna explain this to you right now. To be called an African to be an African person, you have to be partially 75 to 80% of African descent or straight from Africa. To be African, gotta be from Africa. That's the number one. Now African. And your makeup of your bloodline, your lineage, have to be of African people. Okay? If you go under the 50%, I'm just going to look at it as this. I don't know nobody in this world that want 50% of anything. So 50, 100. Less than 50. So when you go drop below the 50 mark, what do we call that? That's the under mark. So you can't classify anything less. I'm going with the how we live this world. I'm not making this up. You can do the math yourself. So if we go under the less than 50 mark, right? There's a mark that we're going to say 50 under, right? So anything less than 50 it's not it, right? It's incorrect. Now, if I'm not correct, then everybody can be classified in nationality and ethnicity as African American, correct? Am I correct? Everybody, correct? Okay. So with everybody being classified, then what are we going to be fighting for? This is another propaganda revelation that came to me. If we're going to all be called black, we are no longer the majority. I mean the minority, are we? What will be our cause and reasoning then? The most hated man in America was Adolf Hitler at one point. But before that, it was a Russian guy. He said he did not support interracial intermingling. This is one, it's unnatural. Because you know what it do? He said a power that's invested in you is a full-blown power. So I have the power and the control to stop a lot of things within my African American descendant community, correct? I'm still sticking on though that 10%, that 50%, less than 50%. And so if I keep diluting the people, guess what we have? You take away power. If you keep putting toxic, if you keep diluting water, dirt, and oil, what's going to happen? The less dense things are going to rise. So we are the less dense. We're not going to rise. Are we trying to rise for power? Or as we always, for integration, to be friends and the loved ones? But the people that they don't want to rise. Because in them guys' company, they don't have a white woman. Oh, say loud. They're not dating white women. They're keeping their lineage literally in their family. And we call it incest. But if there's nobody to your family to have, then who you think the next person to reach? Think about that. It's not incest. It's not the person. Then they're not even doing that. They're going out. There we go. We don't even have full understanding on how the world fully came to be. I'm 36. It's 2019. I wasn't alive thousands of years ago. So all I gotta do is I had to do like extensive research or wait on revelation in the spirit to tell me the full truth, correct? And are we researching enough? Are we waiting on the spirit to give us the truth? Or are we just gonna jump on board and this is when the black code come into corruption. And what we have not established anything. So that's why I was saying the Colin Kaepernick yet still we have a long ways to go. Because if that was a punch in their gut, they're laughing. I remember watching Josina Anderson on ESPN and Greg Jennings have called out the owners of the NFL to talk to them. Why is that a harm? Because he didn't violate the rules. Kaepernick didn't violate the rules. He didn't violate the law. He didn't violate the collective bargaining agreement. No. Did he? No. All right. So now what I want to talk about, I was going to end my live and come back, but at the 36-minute mark, this is the second half. Now what I want to go into, what all of the resolutions that the Creator gave me, and what is coming to come to the earth, and the elitist things I'm going to do, and the gay agenda going to be part of it. What's to come is they had to start the year off with showing a guy that people looked up to as a demon, and it has to show them. They had to show the world that all the evil people are black. And the funny part is, let's take this down. This is the part right here. If I'm signed to a label owned by a white person, who is the fault? Isn't it supposed to be the person that owned that label? Who did I sign a contract from? And that's the part we're starting to be confused about. Because so if I open a business and everything fails, I don't blame my employees. I gotta blame myself. Because didn't I not open that up to the market? Think about that. We did not take that away from the market. They still own the market. So how was only Jay-Z, Floyd Mayweather, Colin Kaepernick, R. Kelly, Cat Williams, Serena Williams, Obama, Michelle Obama, Tupac, Big D, Suge Knight. Who else we can go on about? All those people, Oprah. How come we are the only ones being caught at fault? Listen up, caught up the rapture. Caught up the rapture is at fault. So if I explained the rapture, it was in the spirit. Sometimes I receive things, and that's why it's harder for me to do things a lot later, because it comes in the spirit. So if they're caught up just as well, and the owners are white people, how come now we're not looking at Walt Disney, Donald Trump, Bill Gates, Steven Spielberg, Stan Lee? You know who made the Matrix? It was two one lady was gay and one was transgender lady, transsexual, or she was gender. One of them, they all mean the same thing to me because they're all confused. They don't know what they want to be. And then we got Willow Smith to saying he's going to make this era the next millennials B, because I'm going to say I'm millennial A. I'm not creating this, but I'm 36 and he's 18. So we'll be millennials A and he's millennials B. So the millennials B saying there's non-binary, they want to know gender. They brought back the polyamorous, but we are in the works of hypergamy. Everything is hypersexual, hyperactive, over expedient. If you notice, everything's being speeded up. But everything is really not being speeded up. It's just a mind frame. Now say this too. Enjoy life too. Enjoy your life. And make your life worthwhile. So they're marking that in. They're bringing in the gay people, and they got a testosterone lies a lady. So now they're going to be putting testosterone in women's contraceptives and things and put women ahead of the workload. So now don't hire the black man. They've been doing this for years and years, and they found out, well, if we can get black women to hate, you destroy the nation, you destroy the room, you destroy the womb, you destroy the nation. So we got to trick the black women to hate black men. And we got to want them not to want to be with no man. Because if they're not with no man, they don't care. It's not a white woman, it's a black woman. And then we need the black women that literally won't be with a black man to talk black power. Now, what's the difference? There's no way you can talk black power and don't want to be with a black man. There's no way you can talk black power and don't want to be with a black woman. I will stay single. I say I will suffer, and I have to the spirit say, no, change that. I'm staying it for the cause. I have a cause, and if I don't meet the woman that's not for me, cool. Because I know there's a lot of young men out there. I remember a wise man said, if the father and the mother cannot work it out, then if she cannot find a suitable mate for the children to live in the same household, then the two people that created this baby, that procreated the baby, supposed to all live together. I mentioned this, and so far people that have children would not agree. The ones that didn't get married, but they was okay with having sex to have these children, but having a fatherless home. You see what it's returning to the age of Babylon, the Sodom and Gomorrah. We're becoming what they wanted us to become. We're not where we're supposed to be. There's so many, and as I said, I'm guilty, and because I want to support them, but I don't want to. I want a wife. I want all those things, but there's no woman to be found because now what they did, they destroyed the women. They convincing the women, oh, I don't need him. He don't make a certain income level, and then when he do, he got to be a certain way. So let's keep giving her different reasons and obstacles to not want to be with a black man. And just as she has to learn, but as we know, the man do control the house. So if she do go out of her race and she find a guy, a lot of other races of families are married. We can attest to that. That is truth. So there's no reason for her to have to go to counseling. She don't have to work that hard. So now that take a little bit off of her, which is cool. But I even put on my Instagram is oness1, ONESS _1, ONESSONE _716. That's my Instagram. About a man carrying the earth to a black woman is still, or to a woman in general, that's still, but I don't say black woman, black man. That's how I feel. And I had to mention this. A lot of black men feel inadequate because every time we do one thing, and I'm single, I have nothing to lose. Women can call me wimp. Women can call me a sissy. They can call me whatever they want because I'm not with those women. Those women is not excited by me. So I'm okay. But if you're a man, you don't want to say that, or a woman. If you're a woman, hear out. Men feel inadequate. They feel less than. How would you feel if you're protecting and you doing your job? You're doing your best. And since you're not making over 50, 60,000 a year yet, or you're not where y'all want to be, the first thing that come out of your mouth is you being unhappy. He just busted his ass. He went to work. He shed his blood, sweat, and tears. In most careers as a African descendant man in this America, and this is world in general, you busting your butt, your blood, sweat, and tear. And this is not even like a term. This is the all truth. This is not even a terminology anymore. This is the truth of saying, wow, that's not good enough for my own women. And that's how a lot of African descendant men are feeling. I'm at home, I'm cooking my own damn dinner. I'm taking care of my own place. I pay my own rent. I can hold it down. But when you come along, and all I ask, if we don't have children, I don't see why you don't work on your business. Go back to school. I'll be gladly to pick up some extra hours or to work towards a new career while I'm working. I'm out. And we forgot how to be together. That's why I say together. Even with our women, just along our men, we's not together. And we forgot that because we forgot about the woman. Then the woman forgot about the man. And I even had to tell the one person that when men started cheating, you started hurting. Then women was cheating. But when the women went out and we came back home from war, we came back home, they were sleeping with white men. They were sleeping with other races of men. So don't give me that it was both of our faults. It wasn't just, oh, black men. No, black women did it. Loving versus Virginia. Figure out what Loving versus Virginia is. So it was a law that made. See what that was. Go look that up. And think about if you're going to use information from the old days, just to let you know what's the revelation. We wasn't killing each other. We wasn't enslaving each other. When your brother had a wife and your brother went off and he died and he didn't come back, that man had a duty to protect his wife. He was a guardian. We were warriors. And when we stopped, but once the government said, hold on, we got a way to make sure when her husband died, we're going to give her these federal benefits. We're going to call it Section 8. We're going to call it Altamont, Belmont. The original Altamont was given to business. The federal aid for business. The original Altamont was for the people that was having trouble finding jobs from being part of a law-abiding citizen. But first it was for the military. Then they created the Belmont. Then it became, before that, they called it welfare. It became SNAP benefits. So, say my phone getting low, even though it's on the charger. So, I just want us to understand all the repercussions. I'm going to make a part 2, and probably not, but I hope you get the gist of it. I hope you took something out of what I said. I'm not battling against nothing against anything a black person do, whether they're interracial or not. And you can call him to me. He's not black, but I appreciate Colin Kaepernick's efforts. I appreciate everything he's done. I just know that he's still under contract. He made his money with them. And in my heart and my spirit, he's not working under the honest truth. It could have been done better. I'm not knocking it. I would have done it better because the inventor always knows what's going to be the outcome. What I say unto one, I say unto all. It's your path, it's your journey, it's your choice. Choose wisely. Have a great day. Be great.